Hey everyone, this is Saturday Evening Chats episode 133, and it's solo. So let's play the intro.
In a world of uncertainty and turmoil, one man stands alone, along with his faithful sidekick. A man who entertains and educates the masses weekly, 70% of the time. Born out of the dusty plains of Washington State, now from the coastal forests of Oregon. The man, the myth, the man, G23.
So, first in was Mike White, Miss Gunpowder Beauty, Woods, J&L Shooting Academy, Tactical Fud, and Mr. Sam Ivanarchy, and we have Warsaw Patriot. So, welcome, everyone. Yeah, I may throw the link out there in a minute, but so I know we've got a lot of states that are under attack, and it looks like Oregon has decided that they want to join in on the fun, but they want to do it in secrecy. So they want to try hiding stuff, and try backdooring it. So there's not a whole lot of discussion about what's going on. So I got an email earlier from OFF, Oregon Firearm Federation. So it says, even before Measure 114 passed, the people behind it were admitting it was such a pile of crap that their lackeys in the legislature would have to fix it. Even they could not have predicted that the fix would look like something drafted by crackhead spider monkeys after a weekend of binge drinking. Rational people would have been hard pressed to imagine that this deranged attack on common sense could have actually been made worse by Floyd Prozansky was apparently up to the job. The new bill, which is a gutted and stuffed, or is a gut and stuff of sort, placeholder bill, Senate Bill 348, which we told you would likely be used for this purpose, was just posted late yesterday. If you are interested in testifying on this bill, we included the info in our previous alert, which they did. While it is far too complex, convoluted, poorly written, and contradictory to explain in depth, in fact, it may be impossible to explain at all. Here are the lowlights we have found so far. It will increase the cost of a permit to purchase from $65 to $150. It will increase the cost of a renewal from $50 to $110. This change will be of interest to minority communities in low-income, high-crime areas. So much for the consistent and equitable administration of the permitting process. Page 6 of the amendment. So It will increase the wait time to get a permit from application from 30 days to 60 days. Once again, people whose safety is at risk and lives in places where the police simply do not respond will want to take special note of this provision. So, yes, yeah, it will fail and stuff, but we're also talking how many years in courts are we going to be waiting? So I see we have Alaska One Andy who's jumped in and fellow Oregonian Mr. CB. So welcome, guys. I'll throw the link out. But yeah, this is just one piece of crap that they're looking at attacking us. The amendments still require that you complete a class that includes an in-person demonstration. Welcome, Warsaw. In-person demonstration of the applicant's ability to lock, load, unload, fire, and store a firearm before an instructor approved by a law enforcement agency. So yeah, this it creates a 72-hour waiting period to take possession of a firearm from a dealer. So they're going to add a 3-day wait, which is bullshit.
Thanks for the invite, man.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. So, we gotta make sure we're paying attention, because this new bill also forbids 18 to 20-year-olds from even applying for a permit to purchase.
So let me ask you this: is Washington State, or this is Oregon or Washington State?
Yeah, this is Oregon.
In Oregon, you have a permit system there?
Not yet. Well, so in November, ballot measure 114 also included a purchase to permit scheme.
That's right. I remember now.
Yep. And so the judge out in Harney County put a TRO on all of ballot measure 114. So they can't do that. So now they're trying to look at a way of backdooring it through.
They're going through a separate bill again?
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys, really helpful. Well,
since they have the majority, and another on the November voting was that if anyone holds out and they don't, so if the Republicans would do what they've done before and flee to another state so that they can't have a quorum, then they can be kicked out of their position and never allowed to run for office again.
I'll go for it, man. But no, as far as the permitting thing, did you hear about Maryland?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of things that have been going through, both pro and con.
Pro right now, the Bruin decision was this over there. The Supreme Court literally is asking the state, why do you have this law from 2013 that requires you to have a permit, plus a 10-day waiting period, plus the training, plus the expenses for a firearm, and the time you have to go across half the state just in order to get a permit and firearm. And they asked, do you have any historical or tradition in your state that requires you to have this? And the state response was, we don't have any historical or tradition to have this. And he says, well, you either remove this law or we're going to shoot your ass out for having this. So that's what they did. They removed the law.
Yeah. And there's, like California has their permit to purchase. New York has a permit to purchase.
Permits are unconstitutional from the get-go.
Yep. And, but a lot of these states are going to, and Washington's trying to get a permit to purchase.
All a permit is this tax revenue. It's all that is.
Well, yeah, it's trying to ask permission for a constitutional right. That's what they're requiring. And we all know that that's unconstitutional.
Well, not only that, I also learned in this that our rights, as far as the Second Amendment is concerned, it's your inherent right that was passed down through people that were in the 1700s, that you actually are indeed inherited to that right for those who actually fought for it. And this is contributing from soldiers from the 1700s. That's our forefathers that wanted.
Well, as the Constitution says, it's not given by men.
No, but it's inherited.
It comes from your Creator, and it's protected by the Constitution, that recognizes that it comes from a higher power. Now, if you want to call it, God, you want to call it Muhammad, whatever your religious belief or non-religious belief is, it comes from a higher power, is what they say. Yes, when we founded the country, we fought to be able to have those firearms and, be able to keep and protect. So, but it was never given by man. It was protected by man.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was not, like I was saying, it's not protected by man, but it was actually inherited down by our forefathers, saying that this is a constitutional God-given right. And you look back in the letters and the foundation texts through that time era. Once one of the guys is Tench Cox, and he said this quote: "Who are the militia? Are we not ourselves? Is it feared then and that we shall turn our arms on each other against our own bosom? Congress has no power to disarm the militia. Their swords and every other terrible implement of the soldier are brought light of an American." That's the quote coming from Tench Cox. I mean, we the people are the militia.
Yeah, and we've always been the militia. It was the people that stood up to Great Britain, to England, who said, you know what, we're tired of this bullshit, and we're gonna form our own country, and you can go pound sand.
Yep. I mean, and people think, well, we're a democracy. No, we're a constitutional republic with Democratic vote. That's the difference.
Yep.
And if we were a monarchy, you know what would happen if we were a monarchy?
We'd be like England.
It'd be more than just that. The people going in and out your houses left and right will probably take your food and wherever, because that's what was happening when you're under English occupied rule.
Yeah, you had, you had to feed the army of England so that they would protect you.
Or so it claimed.
Yeah. And that's why we have in our Constitution that, they cannot quarter in your house. They can't just come in and take your house and be like, hey, we're staying here. You're going to provide us food. You're going to, provide us medical attention, any of that stuff. That's exactly what we've kind of gone against. Maybe. I don't know if Foss and I are hitting the button at the same time.
Foss, you finally fix it, buddy?
Foss is trying to come into the stream, and we're both hitting the button at the same time, and he's just kicking it in the background like, hey, what the hell is going on here?
I just woke up.
How's it going, Foss?
It's going all right. How you doing?
Doing good. But no, I find it fascinating that people always think, well, we're a democracy. And I'm like, no, we're not. We're nothing like those countries.
So, you were up in the Capitol not that long ago there, Foss?
Yes.
How was that?
It was, I don't know, about what you would expect for Washington. There was some good testimony. That's what we'll go over tonight on the overnight. Is I've got clips of some of the testimonies. Some of it was really good. And there was a lot of the Mom Span action.
Oh, jeez.
They came in on their bus. It was, well, we had the grandmas for gun safety. But it was the seasoned citizen armed of the Mom's Demand action. And the governor's wife testified against, for the gun bills. Because our governor is very anti-gun. But it, I don't think it'll make a difference, because the Democrats have a supermajority in Washington, so they can do whatever they want and not care.
These aren't Democrats anymore, guys. These are radical agendas.
But
Yeah.
I figured, it's, for me, it's important to at least to be there and stand up.
Definitely. Right on, man.
And it was the majority signed in against these bills, like the assault weapons ban. There were 1,000 that were for it, and 6,000 against that had signed in. And that got a gasp from all the grandmas when they heard that.
Yeah, that's kind of like what's going on here in Oregon, and yeah, we've got one hearing Monday. So I'm hoping, because you got to put in that you want to testify, and not just submit testimony, and then you may get lucky to be able to testify. So
yeah, there was for the assault weapons bill, there were, 60 people signed in to testify for it, and over 100 signed in to testify against. So they're not everybody got to testify, and that there were a couple other anti-gun bills too that were heard the same day, and it was kind of the same way, that there were so many people that wanted to testify that just a small portion of them got to.
Well, they're not even going to open up the testimony to us second-class citizens, the ones that actually vote them in. They're not going to open that up till 5 p.m. So for a fact that they're not going to let more than probably 30 people altogether, probably 30 people testify. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I don't see them allowing much more than that, because they're not going to want to be there all night on a Monday night, you know.
Bald is looking for a link.
Yeah. He never emails me, so I don't have his damn email address.
Yeah, the crazy Slovak.
Yeah, you know, you will run into those too. You'll run into the people that are just 100% for it or 100% against it, and nobody that's like, you know, hey, some of this is okay. I mean, when it comes to stepping on the Second Amendment, zero of it's okay. But when you're in a state like, you know, Washington, Oregon, California, and they all have the controls, it's how much of it can you get the super horrible parts out of it, and, you know, let them think that they got to win when knowing that you're going to defeat the rest of it in court. But to go about, because they've got the majority, you know, so like here in Oregon, they only need, I think, 2 Republicans or conservatives or rhinos, however you want to look at them, to show up, and then they can just shove whatever they want through. And like I said, when in November, they pretty much made it so that if you don't show up, then you're just gonna lose your job, which, whatever, you know. But they fine you, you know, I think it's like $150 a day, which is what I think is their pay. So what, you know. The thing is somehow they've made it that they can then never run for office again. Well, if they're listening to their constituents and they're not showing up because, you know, the people they represent say, hey, don't go and show up for these bills, they shouldn't be able to say, okay, well, you can't run again because you're doing the will of your people. You know, I'm pretty sure that's kind of completely unconstitutional. And so hopefully that part of the ballot that got voted in, somebody will challenge that and get that thrown out.
Mm-hmm. No, we definitely got to keep fighting against this. And Foss, I just want to tell you, man, I like and appreciate you pulling that American flag behind the camera, dude.
Well, that's,
we gotta keep showing our pride, man.
It's kind of where I keep it, store it.
Yeah.
So, because I only put it out for holidays and such. I don't leave mine out because I don't have proper lighting for nighttime, and if you leave a flag out at night, it's supposed to be properly lit.
Yeah.
So I bring it down, and I know if I leave it out all the time, you know, I'll forget. So that's why I only do it holidays. So I have to put it somewhere, and rather than sitting in the closet, you know, I keep it back here.
No, but you know, if we are as gun owners just not going to have a voice, then what's the point of having an American flag? You know, because that's their goal in an end game. Like, they don't understand Americans' values and traditions and where our history is from. You know, and that's one thing. Like, nobody knows about history anymore, dude. Nobody. They say America, they just think like England. I'm like, no, we're not one and the same. Different country, different government.
Yeah. Now, if Bald actually would to look, there is a link posted in the side chat. Just saying. But
yes,
yeah, so we have Georgia Trapping and Fishing out there, Mr. Craig. He's an awesome guy. Does live streams on Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Just covers a lot of topics, and I still don't understand how he does it, where he's the only person on the panel and pays attention to all the damn, side chat and stuff. I honestly, I have no clue how he can do all that.
It's the few times that I've been on my own, it's rough.
Yes, very, very rough when you're starting out and you're like, oh shit. I guess I'm doing this.
But no, I actually admire your G23. Appreciate what you're trying to do, dude.
Thank you.
Just getting information out is important because did you hear what happened last week up north to our northern cousins?
What?
Canada. You ever heard what happened to Canada?
Oh, yeah, they're more and more tyrannical. But the thing is they don't have a constitution like the United States.
No.
So
they lost their right to vote. No, not to vote. The right to speak and speak out against their government.
Mm-hmm.
They're being monitored by their own government now.
Well, the thing is once you can disarm your populace, you can control your populace.
Yeah, that's right next to us now. That's really concerning.
Well, I mean, look at Mexico. They've been disarmed for a long, long time. Yeah, you can possibly get a firearm, but you're limited to like a 38 Super. You can't own any firearms that the police or military uses.
Till I move.
Yep. You can't even have a beer on a boat.
Listen, Moo, I get that, but those people up there, they actually admire America. They actually want to come down here. There's actually a lot of freedom-loving Canadians that hate what they're dealing with up in their country. I actually have to open them arms up to come down here, dude, anytime. If they want to be American citizens, come down here, more power to them.
Yes and no, because one, we've really got to fix how we're bringing people into the country. Just bringing everybody in.
I'm not talking illegal migrants. I'm not talking illegal migrants.
I'm not talking illegal migrants either. The thing is we bring a bunch of people in, but we don't have all the, a lot of our companies are leaving because of the way the politicals are going and everything. And so we're going to bring people in so that the government can take care of them. It's hard when there's not a whole lot of jobs and more companies are shutting down. I mean, you look at just like Walmart, they're not a great company, but you've got them shutting down 7 superstores, 2 in Portland, a couple up in Washington, DC and Maryland and Hawaii. They're going to be shutting stores down. So that means on average, each store has probably around a minimum of like 500 employees.
That's disturbing.
You've got all these companies in the United States, Bed Bath & Beyond, every one of their stores are going out. Party City, they're shutting their stuff down. You got like Cracker Barrel, who's shut down 3 restaurants here in Oregon. And so you've got multiple companies that are starting to like shut down. And yeah, maybe they'll go online only so that they only need, 1/10 of the employees that they've had before. So they can just have employees at distribution centers that are, boxing up stuff and sending it out via UPS, USPS, FedEx, stuff like that. And then they don't have to have all that overhead. They don't have the employees. They don't have the taxes. They don't have the electricity, the space rent, building maintenance. if they own the store front,
Mhm.
they don't have all that tax that because they're like, you know what, we don't have those. So the more and more we're shutting businesses down, the more and more they're making everybody reliant on government. And so if we're going to keep bringing people in and making more and more people reliant on government, it's going to be a lot harder to, have an actual functioning country. And then they can start, well, if they control your paycheck, they can control your vote. So, I don't know.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, we also had 2 banks collapse this past week.
My question is why we're not hearing a lot more of the military guys that were attacked.
By the drone.
Yeah, twice. There was 2 drone attacks on the same by Iran in what was that? Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, great. And of course, now I hear about this explosion happened in some part of Pennsylvania at a chocolate factory.
Yeah, I saw the video.
I mean, I don't know about that, dude.
I saw the video of that chocolate factory just exploding. I mean, it was kind of gnarly. Yeah, and then you've got the disaster down in Missouri, Alabama, Mississippi, with the tornado that went through Friday night.
Yep.
There was a fire at an armory in Mississippi because of the tornado. So yeah, we're not having the greatest of time right now.
Nope.
Moose says, you should see my yard after the snow melts. Talking about all the dog crap that's going to be in his yard. Well, you guys, probably in the next 3 to 5 days, we'll have some more snow coming your way. Because yesterday and today, we've been having rain-snow mix out here. So as that moves back east, it'll turn more snow for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So you're welcome. Yeah, 500. Minnesota did defeat 4 out of the 6 of their anti-gun bills. So, that's congrats on them.
You got Washington State too. Also, they're dealing with weird stuff going on.
Oh, Washington and Oregon, and both of us are fighting hardcore.
What's the other one I was looking at? Not Minnesota. What was the other one?
Illinois.
Arizona. No, well, not them. Arizona. I was looking at. Actually, Arizona's. Their Democrats actually shut down and assault weapons going forward.
I haven't heard anything out of Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona literally just voted against the assault weapons ban.
Well, you would kind of expect that out of Arizona when they're a constitutional carry state and they have a lot of pro 2A things going on in Arizona. So,
and I've been telling people this: moving does absolutely jack shit. It's all generational. This is why votes matter. This is why you keep checking on people who come in office and go out of office. I mean, it moves state to state over 10 in 5 years. Dude. Politics is a bitch.
Well, then, even if you move, there's a lot of other people that are moving too, because they realize how repressed they are, and they hear about all these freedoms, so they move to these states that are hey, these are free states, and these are that they got all this other good stuff, but they take their left-leaning political views and take them with them, so they start turning those other states to where they left from, and then they don't understand why their paradise that they moved into has now become shit.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Colorado's also got some weird stuff going on.
Yeah, Colorado switches back and forth. And everything. They're not as 2A friendly as some people think, but they're not as 2A as anti-2A as other people think. So they're kind of a fence-sitter state, as I would call them. It's not that that's a kind of a bad thing. It's right now that they've kind of got everything balanced so that no new stuff is being pushed through, but no old stuff is being taken away either. A lot of stuff gets introduced and then it just dies on the floor, which is good. Yep. In Georgia, the under 21 carry ban is being challenged.
What was the other one? Alabama.
Yep. So Idaho just put out a deal saying they're bringing the firing squad back as a means of execution. So they're going to be another state like South Carolina, I think Georgia, and a few other states that actually, Utah, that have the actual firing squad as a means of lethal injection.
You know why I think that is 23? Probably because we've been soft on crime over these years.
Well, not only that, but if you want to think about it, so the United States has, in every state, if you survive your death, like if you're sentenced to electrocution or you're sentenced to lethal injection or hanging, however, they determine the means that the state's going to kill you based on the crime that you did. If you survive, they can't just be like, okay, well, we're going to try to hang him again, or we're going to try to, electrocute him again. They can't, do that. So if by chance you survive, then you walk free or roll free.
Mm-hmm.
However, and then you can turn around and sue them for, you being paralyzed or you being, messed up, whatever. And it's happened, and states have had to pay out because of that. So, how many people survived being shot, by a firing squad? So,
Yep. I don't know if you know this, 23. I found out through a friend of mine. He actually told me this. That was really shocking to me about Mexico. Mexico's constitution, believe it or not, was exactly based on us. The only thing they didn't do was actually keep in checks and balances in their system of their own state constitution of the Mexican government. And sure enough, that's why you see all these cartels and rogue government agencies down there.
So, Mr. Walcott has a great question. He says, since almost all states are going 21 and older with alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, should we go with 21, or should we go with voting and selective service to 21 and older?
I think
Watch
it's just,
them say that's different. Oh yeah, they would completely argue. Well, it's different. You can't compare those two.
well, then next you know it's going to be the 31 then age limit. I think it's going to be an ongoing thing. Well, 18 and 21 and what 32?
So, Mr. CB's out there. He says only 2 people have survived.
For what? The chocolate factory explosion?
No, the execution by firing squad.
I wonder how that was happening.
Yeah, there was only 2 Oompa Loompas that survived the chocolate factory.
I wonder if that. The wife showed me a video of it exploding. It was pretty quick. The video was pretty short. But nowhere did it say what chocolate factory it was. It didn't say if it was like a Hershey's plant or if it was. Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see what it was. Maybe she read the story. I didn't. I just watched the video. It was kind of cool of the building exploding and seeing what looked like, chocolate powder flying everywhere.
It looked like fudge flying in the air.
Oh, my bad. 2 people died in that, so
Yep.
I did not know that part. So, Rob wants us to check out his recent poll on his channel. So let's see what his alleged poll was. I don't
I
know.
think it's the one with who would you rather have a drink with. That's the last one I saw.
5 hours ago was YouTube celebrity deathmatch. Anything goes. Who's going to be the last man standing? Hickok, Yankee, Nuttin' Fancy, or Paul? So it looks like there's a tie between Hickok and Paul.
I think Paul is. Then again, Hickok will probably be still alive.
So I guess the explosion was at the R.M. Palmer Chocolate Factory in Pennsylvania.
They make like the chocolate Easter bunnies and stuff.
Oh, jeez. I wonder who's going to clean up all that mess. That's all on the ground. All that sugar and all those remains of chocolate.
Or I wonder if he's talking about the poll that he put out like a day ago, which was who would make the best bad guy in the next upcoming kids movie. Roll Call 219, Guns and Barbecue, The Scottish American, or Bald and Curious. And 46% of those people say it's Bald and Curious.
Yeah, it's 48% now.
Oh.
He's got the accent. He's got the bald head. I say definitely bald.
He's got the ugly mug. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I would probably agree with Rich White on that, actually.
So, yep. So I don't know which one he's talking about.
Nothing fancy.
Or, I mean, he's got another poll that says, who would you trust to watch your drink at a bar? Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Hunter Biden, or Bill Cosby?
I picked Bill Cosby over any of those three guys. I would not trust any of those, the first three there.
That's how you wake up with a sore butthole, Patriot. By having drinks with Bill Cosby.
Hunter Biden, you know, all he's going to do is put crack in your. Well, he's going to probably dump your glass hoping he can find Parmesan rocks.
I mean, all right, what, you're going to vote for Pelosi? I ain't.
No, well, I put that I put Hillary because Pelosi would drink your drink. Hunter would try and smoke your drink, and Bill Cosby is why you wake up with a sore butthole. Hillary would shoot you. She wouldn't mess with your drink.
Why do you think I don't like Hillary? Oh, and by the way, G23, since we're talking about Biden, Biden has tried tripping over, but Hillary's actually in her history as Secretary of State actually has fallen on the ground just by going in the airplane. Last time I checked.
Ooh, so Mr. David Walcott has another question for us. And I think Foss and I are going to have differing opinions because he says, hey, G23, DM Foss in Warsaw, titanium or tungsten guide rod, recoil rod for a G20 or G40?
That's a hard one. What would you go with, Foss?
Mine has a stainless.
I use a stainless. I never use titanium or tungsten.
And I run a tungsten guide rod.
What's the difference? Is this weight and reliability?
Yeah, so the weight. So when Foss shot the G23, there was a tungsten guide rod in there. So, yep. I like the tungsten. It, you know, I don't think you can really go wrong adding, you know, weight to the front of any of your polymer firearms. I mean, we know that M&Ps could use some extra weight up front, so you know Rob can't argue with that, but he's going to attempt to find some way to argue with it. Rich White says, Hillary fell getting out of an SUV. Biden fell off a non-moving bike. Biden's also fallen going upstairs like 3 times.
Oh, actually, speaking of that, I remember seeing Biden's one of his staff members actually slid down the actual stairwell in Ukraine.
Yeah. It's been pretty crazy. So, I have a pinned message out there on the YouTube chat side at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. I will be on a Great Start Shooting School channel for an interview. It's a pre-recorded, so it's going to be a premiere. So if you guys want, you can hit the link and come over and hang out and watch that or not. Completely up to you. She normally does a lot of Suicide Saturday, or that's what she focuses on, is suicide preventions. And she likes to do them on Saturday at 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern, and they normally last anywhere from 5 to 25 minutes. She keeps them short and sweet.
Best looking politician. I don't know about that one. I guess if Candace Owens was running, I guess she's looking pretty good.
Yeah. You know, you've got crap, what's her name? She was Nikki Haley, former governor of South Carolina. She's not too bad. And then you got Lauren Babbitt. Or Lauren Boebert, sorry. She has the what's that? Shooters Cafe in Colorado.
I'm going to decline to objectify women. They deserve our respect. So I will not choose one.
I don't know anywhere in that question did it say that it just said, best looking. It doesn't mean that you're saying you want to date them or screw them or.
See, that's because you have a man brain, so you don't see how it's sexualizing women, degrading them.
Okay. So we've got Mr. Honcho Fed out in the crowd. Welcome. Oh, look who's finally decided to show up like an hour into the show.
Sorry, man. I had to charge my phone. So I'm not exactly sure where I left off from swapping devices here, but I just want to say beauty's beauty, man. Don't be ashamed to say something's beautiful. You may not want to walk up to somebody's wife and say it, although it shouldn't necessarily be a problem at just a comment like that. But, they keep walking. But in a sense, I don't know. Beauty's beauty, man. Yeah, and we all have different forms of beauty. So if I was like, Batcave rich, I'd have naked women statues everywhere. It's beautiful.
Let me ask you this, Outcast. You think Kathy Hochul is beautiful?
I can't think of who the hell you're speaking of. I can't place the face with it, but I would say the majority of the politicians, no, not beautiful. But there's probably a couple out there. But everybody sees beauty in different places. You know what I mean? So respect the beauty. Be thankful for it. I'd much rather see beauty than stuff that should be banned in spandex at the store. Okay, no disrespect. Not trying to sound shallow, but nothing's wrong with beauty.
The Slovaks here.
Oh, Mario Mosen posted some photos on Instagram, and I told him that he damn well married up.
What's up, Bold?
Did you finally find the link out in the crowd, or did your fellow Yorker send you the link?
You got the Slovak silent.
He's too paranoid to take anything I'd mail him.
Sorry, I was mute. I'm cooking.
Cooking? Cooking what?
Chicken, pasta, and Alfredo sauce.
Yeah, look at you, the guy that's stocking up on those eggs with those chickens.
No, he's not stocking up on eggs. The fact is if he's eating the chickens, he's losing eggs. So he's helping to drive the egg cost up.
Nah, this is not my chickens. I'm sort of a single man now, so I have to cook for myself.
Some are good for making eggs. Some are good for eating.
Just don't ask New York Outcast to cook you some kind of chicken dish. He'll friggin' poison your ass.
He'll give me salad. That's his answer for all the food. Salad.
Yeah, now you're making me hungry, Bald. Now I want chicken.
You throw that chicken over a salad, and it's a win-win.
Did that, but there's only so much freaking salad I can eat. Sometimes I want something a little better. More good.
Ah, shoot. Who's that politician from Indiana? Shit, she's Ukrainian. I can't remember her name. What's the name? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Honcho Fett says that Tulsi Gabbard is good looking.
Yeah, she's not bad.
By the way, that place, the shooters in Colorado, that's closed. She lost the lease. They opened a Mexican restaurant there.
What do you know? Shit happens.
Yeah, Victoria Sparks is what I'm thinking.
Rich White says Anna Paulina Luna is pretty good looking lady. She's a Congress woman from Florida and a former swimsuit model. There was one Congress or Senator, she's out of I think Washington State. She was testifying, or she was there during the ATF hearings.
I
forget what her name is, but she was very well spoken.
Oh, nice. Who? Remember? Who's the guy that was calling out the guy for Fudbusters?
Oh, Matt?
Not Matt Gates. The other guy, that leftist politician, whatever his name is. The guy that pulled out the the tweet from.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't remember what his name was. That guy. He was also the one that when the husband and wife got thrown out and the husband got arrested, the wife got arrested also. He kept saying what their names were. If you actually watch one of the videos that's out there, they're trying to make it look like the police were using excessive force and blah, blah, blah. But that same guy went out and was like, what are you doing? Blah, blah. And he starts, trying to get involved. And his ass should have been arrested for interfering with the police doing their job. They were arresting this man. The wife kept getting involved, and they told her many a times, hey, get away or you're going to get arrested too. And then, here's this politician comes out and pretty much stands over the top of a officer who's, trying to put cuffs on this guy who's clearly resisting arrest.
Talking about the thing that just happened at the Capitol there the other day?
Yeah.
The ATF hearing thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So David Walcott says, what your guy's red-headed stepchild gun / tool be? Oh, everyone probably on the panel agrees. That's High Point. High Point's the red-headed stepchild. And it can be used as a hammer. I
would say Glock.
No,
Okay.
I mean,
Man after my own heart right there. They filed down a railroad stake for
Okay, somebody said redheaded stepchild.
I don't know what happened in New York. But yeah, no. You
This
know,
son of a bitch.
right?
Hey, Rob, send me your address. I got a present for you.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
All right.
somebody said redheaded stepchild.
Is that from She Fires?
No, that's from my local gun store.
Nice.
I got a perfect place for that.
And don't say I never gave you nothing.
500 Magnum says Sky, but the thing is I wouldn't even waste a penny on a Sky. I mean, you couldn't even pay me to take one.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sky's got a place, though. You know, that mother-in-law you don't like, you know, your daughter's husband. Well, maybe not that, but, you know, there's a place. Sky's got that market for people you don't like. They're great gift guns.
You know, if I don't want somebody, if I don't like somebody enough that I would want to give them a firearm that's gonna cost them their life, then I'm just not gonna give them a firearm. You know, so that they can't protect themselves. Let them go out and buy their own damn gun. You know, if that's what this case is. I'm still not gonna waste a penny of my money on a Sky.
You want to see my stepchild? Pick this bad boy up.
Are you going to Ukraine to dig trenches?
Nope. It's for my backpack, just for survival and stuff.
It's awful bright.
$13. You can't go wrong with it. It's
Yeah.
portable.
Looks decent, so I've got one. I don't use it much. Usually more so camping than anything else, but I think they're nice to have.
You gotta do some video and dig something with that thing, because for $13, I got less. I don't have a whole lot of faith in it.
I've got one I keep in the SUV, and it's only been used at the beach for the kids to dig with, and when I lived in Eastern Washington for digging out of the snow.
Not an excavator, Bald.
You know, when I lived in Eastern Washington, I never had to dig myself out of a damn, bank or anything like that. I don't know. I hear people have to do that all the time, and I'm like, why?
When,
You know?
when it snows, you put your car in this thing that's called garage, and then the guy comes with a plow, cleans the snow, and then you go up.
I've had to shovel out from in front of my vehicle to get it to move because you just couldn't get momentum to get going. Like you need like 2-3 feet to get it actually moving. But I don't use that shovel typically, but I think it's a good idea for people to throw a shovel like that in a vehicle in case you end up in one of them situations or somebody else. And another thing that works really well and is cheap is cat litter. Now, it sounds crazy, but if you have a little bit of that in your trunk, it works really good for traction.
Cat litter is great.
Scoop out for somebody at work that's stuck and you don't want to push and ruin your back. So just little things there.
I had one time Eastern Washington. I stopped to push somebody that was stuck in the snow. Got out of my truck. I had a power wagon, and I had left it in gear when I jumped out. Went back to the truck, and all 4 tires are slowly rotating, but it's not moving because it's kind of slushy snow. So I had to dig out.
That sucks. You had to be the nice guy. End up being late.
He could have just slowly egged up and then just kind of pushed him with your truck, it would have.
That's not advised. I know a guy did that, and it was hairy. He got out of it okay, but the truck was damaged slightly. So, yeah.
Well, no, part of the problem is if you're pushing a car, if you've got a 4x4 that's up at all, you'll be up into their trunk, so you can't really push on them.
Throw a spare tire, or keep it
Yeah,
unmounted.
Put
unmounted tire.
magical elves in front of you. If you're just driving along and you stop because you see somebody that needs help, you don't always have everything that you might need.
Yeah, when I had my Suburban, I always kept a tow strap in there. I kept kitty litter in the wintertime. And that's pretty much the only time I ever used my Suburban was in the wintertime, or if I was going to go play in the mountains. Otherwise, I was driving the 300ZX Turbo.
I'd say be cautious helping people. Now, this may be different in your location, whatever. I mean, I think everybody should. It'd be a nice world if people stopped and offered, at the very least, you need a ride to the gas station in a snowstorm or something. But be careful, just letting people hook up. Like if you do got a truck chain, you're all prepared. You roll up on your way home on scene to something, offer the help. Be cautious where, like, if the guy jumps out or whatever wants to hook up, like, don't let him just hook the shit to his bumper, because I've seen this where people stop and try to help people and they hook shit up wrong, and you end up pulling, part of the car apart and shit like that, and now they expect you to pay for it. You know what I mean? When literally they hooked it to their plastic bumper and shit like that. So just be cautious. If you're gonna get into it, don't get set up, because there's some shitty people out there. But definitely offer help if you can.
Here's the best advice: when the roads are shitty and there's a snowstorm, stay the fuck home. don't fucking go out on the road.
Keep your car with the rubber band tires.
And the road is clear. Most of the time, when roads are so bad, there's a snow day and schools are closed anyway. So stay the fuck home, play with the kids.
I've driven in horrible snowstorms, and I guess that's growing when you grow up where it snows all the time. You tend to learn what to do and what not to do, and I don't know how many times I had people asking me for a ride home because they didn't want to drive their Hondas back down the highway. And so since I had a Suburban, they were like, yeah, we'll just ride with him.
G23, it's the best tool to get rid of ice off your driveway.
Flamethrower.
That's what I was thinking, Bald. Yep. Lots of
I mean, damn kids. You tell them you want to get your ass out there.
It really all depends on if a flamethrower is allowed in your state, because in some states those are still considered destructive devices and are not allowed.
You can still make one, dude. All it takes is a aerosol can and a lighter.
Well, yeah.
Why not just install a heated driveway?
Because in some places
they go out there and play around and be the pyro. Like, it's cool, but do you really want to go out there and have to, laps up and down and all that shit, or would you just
you got to make sure
to kick it on?
Hey,
you got to make sure that once you melt the snow and ice, that you actually make sure that it's completely gone. Otherwise, it's just going to refreeze again.
Yep.
Hey, smartass, where's your fucking heated driveway?
Yeah, you just throw a Molotov cocktail out there. It's good.
What, you have bottles of free vodka to do it?
10 fly tires, no problem.
Just need to take some gasoline, a little bit of styrofoam, and that, well, that's something different. Sorry.
Yeah. We don't want to give them the ability to make stuff that then could come back to bite us in the ass.
We don't. Why don't we just pay the freaking guy so he comes early in the morning, plows your fucking driveway, so when you wake up, it's already clean.
Good. Then the assholes banging around, driving through your yard, hitting on your wife. Why didn't you just hit the damn switch? The thermostat would kick on. You don't even have to mess with it, Bald. Stop being a cheap ass, Mr. House Builder.
I already got the blacktop on my old house, on her house, and this house ain't got nothing. So whoever buys it, they can do whatever the fuck they want. I'm moving somewhere where I don't have to worry about the fucking snow.
That's because snow kicked your ass.
I want to go somewhere. If it snows in the morning, the fucking snow's gone by the afternoon.
Oh, where they never have plows, and every time there's like a quarter inch of anything, there's pileups everywhere, and people are scared to death, and school gets canceled.
Exactly. My kids don't go to school anymore, so I can care less. Not to mention, I'll be by myself anyway, so who cares?
All right, I'm just messing with him, guys. So you can continue, unless you want me to keep going.
Yeah, there's a big pro with that, though, Bald. You know what that is?
It's just funny that one Yorker is attacking another Yorker.
I just bought him a fucking gift, and cocksucker's fucking riding my ass like a fucking.
Hey, this is like true love right here. This is how you know it's real.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Based on that, my wife loves me.
No, but pro, Bald, you know, it's the pro for being alone more often.
Is there a pro for being alone?
Making more money yourself.
It's like a 3 stages of having sex in a marriage, right? The first 5 years, you do it in every room in the house. After 10 years, then you just stick to the bedroom. And after about 15 years, you have a hallway sex. You pass each other in the hallway and you go, fuck you, fuck you.
That's why you don't get married.
I'll say I'm going on 20 years, and we're doing just fine. So,
I'm close to 30. I'm about to get fucking divorced. So, what's your point?
Yeah, I got a question for you, Bald.
Go ahead.
What do you think of this whole stupid idea of student debt relief forgiveness?
Okay, one more time. What am I thinking about? What?
Student debt relief, forgiveness.
Ah, fuck that.
It's communism in my eyes.
That's stupid. Like, first of all, where are you gonna draw the line? Who are you gonna forgive and who you don't? For one, okay. What about people that pay for the colleges, or what about people that've been paying for the colleges for 20 freaking years? You're gonna pay them too? Now, what about the people that didn't go to college? Okay, they went to trade school. You're gonna pay them for the trade school that they whatever. It's stupid. Like nobody. My kid's finishing his college. My daughter's about to go to college, and as much as she wanted to go to Knoxville, right now she's choosing Vermont because the financial aid is significantly better for that. Nobody's putting a gun to her head to go to college. I'm gonna help her as much as I can, but I want to retire at some point, so I can't freaking give her all the money. My son did pretty good at school. He had a lot of scholarships and whatnot. I mean, by the time he's got his master's degree in film, I think he only owes about $30,000, which is less than a freaking car payment. So I'm not even worried about that. As long as he gets a decent job, you know what? Same goes for the doctors and all that. I spoke with my doctor about the same thing, and she's in her probably late 30s, and she's like, well, you know what? I'm making good money. I'm doing what I want, and the payment for the school just comes out of my account. I don't even notice it. So as long the problem is with the people that spend freaking $200,000 on their education and they got a degree in gender studies or some other bullshit.
Yeah.
And they can't get a fucking job, and they're too lazy to do anything. you know how much framers can make right now. You can't find people that want to work, and you go down the road to pick up the Mexicans. The fucking Mexicans got unionized. They want $250 a day plus You have to pick them up, buy them lunch, and at 3 o'clock he tells you that's it. You have to drive me back. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We work till 5. So, and you can't find white people that want to fucking work. You can't find framers, and if you do, they give you fucking price to frame the house that looks like my social security number.
The whole student forgiveness shit, it's communism in my eyes.
I don't like the idea either for the same reasons he said. So many people have fought through it, worked that second job, third job in some cases, took on the hardships of the commitment of it. I don't like it. I think it's, that voter fluff stuff they throw out. Maybe they're actually going to do it. I don't know. But I do think the education cost is a problem now. I think these colleges have freaking gone off the rails with some of this shit. Especially with all the shit they're pulling these days. But, even locally, I mean, in my opinion, it's astonishing the money they want to be in the colleges around here. So it's amazing. Most of the kids there got a $60,000-$70,000 car. You know what I mean? It's just the debt that's taken on, I think is I think it's highly inflated in some cases. I don't know. It's turned into a racket in a sense. And honestly, I know this is different for different fields. Personally, like if I'm looking for somebody that works, you don't necessarily need a degree like that. But if he came to me and said he did, it really ain't gonna make no damn difference. You show up with like a brand new tool belt and shit, I'm gonna think you're full of shit. And I'll know in like 30 minutes usually. I'd rather hire somebody that's done it, hands on, like a trade school person, than hire somebody with a piece of paper personally. And I know that differs in different areas, but a lot of people seem to they're still paying debt and they're not even working under anything with their degree or anything. Most of them that I've seen around here are in customer service jobs. They make money, they survive, but it's nothing like they should have. It wasn't their initial plan. So it's a lot of freaking money. Like, I tell kids now, what your path may dictate you need to go to college, but you need to really consider all that and the cost and have a plan B. What happens if you don't get that job that they told you was hot 4 or 5, 7 years ago and it's not anymore? Yeah. So
another thing is the loans that give the banks that give out the loans. I mean, the rates are through the roof as well. So if government wants to step in and do something, they should definitely work some kind of cap on the education cost on the colleges, because some of them are ridiculous. And same goes for the banks. For the banks that are giving up these loans, same thing. There should be cap, on the interest rates, because some of them are out of this world. And I also understand if the kid's like halfway through the school and all of a sudden they raise the rates, he doesn't really have a choice. He's got to take whatever, just to get through the school. Problem is, like I said, if you go into school for a guidance counselor and you come out of college and the best job you can find is a $50,000-$60,000 job a year, then racking up $200,000 in the student loans probably wasn't the smartest idea. Now you come up as a freaking doctor and you get $200,000-$300,000 worth of that. That's a different story, because chances are you're going to make a lot more money.
And remember, depending on schools, the kid you're paying to go there might get set up for speaking their mind openly. They might get attacked. They might get accused of something because they're not with the popular belief. So depending on your child, in some cases, and the school, they better have tight lips, because free thinking is no longer allowed at college campuses.
It depends. My son's school, I walked through the campus. I seen it all. I seen the blue purple hair, and I seen the freaking big ass Trump flag across the freaking windows as well. So, you know what? It's you gotta take it. You gotta take the good with the bad. So whatever.
Depending on the schools and stuff, but I'm just stating.
You got some schools. You got some schools.
Some of the stuff people are paying for, they shouldn't be, in my opinion.
So, Mr. Walcott says Springfield M1A or AR10, both in 308.
AR10. I would say a lot easier to put a scope on and everything else. Do a trigger job or whatever. I think a little more easy to work on.
Well, later Warsaw.
Hey,
Yeah.
highlight the Scottish American. His comment. He nailed it on the head. You know, he nailed it on the head. Kids are not interested in trades. They're not. No, they either freaking want to be TikTok stars or YouTube stars because they can see Jake Paul and whatever the fuck. They don't understand that those guys didn't just come out of nothing. You know, or Mr. Beast, and well, everybody wants to be like that, but nobody wants to put in the work. Nobody, you know, like I know a handful of young kids, like my neighbor's kid, 18, 19 years old. I mean, he couldn't wait to get out of college, and he already had a landscaping business, and he's doing everything. He comes over here, plows my driveway. He does everything. He's a hands-on guy. Hell, I got no problem calling him. Hey, Cody, get your trailer, come move my excavator. He's $200. You know, I know it's gonna be done right. But then you got a lot of, like my son, for example. I wouldn't put a skill saw in his hand. He's just, you know, as big as he is, he's got two left hands. But you know what? I put it in front of a computer, edit the videos and do other crap. He's a whiz with that. You know, if I need help, that's what he went to freaking school for. You know, my daughter, she's like a little bit of everything, and she's really into animals. She wants to be a vet. So, but you know, if you just let the kids and the internet grow your, school and the internet to raise your kids, then you got a purple head fucking liberal that doesn't know anything.
So we have hunting and stuff with J&J out there, and to answer David's question, yes, I would probably say AR-10, even though I'm not an AR fan, but
There's no AK in 308?
I would go with a bolt action over either of them. Just my opinion.
Well, considering the 308 is what is the middle ankle, whatever they call it, the cartridge, really effective. 600-700 yards. I don't think you would have a huge difference from a bolt action to a AR-10, unless it's a really shitty AR-10 and really awesome bolt action. You know, as long as it's a sub-MOA gun, then you'll be good. I mean, it kind of depends what you're looking to do. If you want to go and hunt hogs or something, definitely, probably better over that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the M1A. It's just I think you got a little more options with the AR-10.
So he says Diamondback, Stag Arms, or S&W.
I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. Stag Arms makes it good stuff. So does Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, I'd like a Stag or Smith & Wesson. I wouldn't even consider Diamondback personally. Talking M1A, what model in a sense? Like the Scout version or anything like that?
He just said Springfield M1A.
Because if it came down to it, I mean, obviously maybe depending on purpose, but the nostalgia of that's kind of cool. Like, yeah.
I used to have a Stag Arms upper for AR-15 and it was excellent upper until I blew it up.
So I don't know. I guess it would depend why, in a sense. If I could just take a free one, either or the right model, I might go with the M1A.
So we have the New Jersey fishing maniac out in the crowd. So welcome.
Rich White, he's got a point.
Go ahead, New York.
Sorry, I mean, jumping in bad timing or whatever. But I was gonna say I own a Stag Arms AR 5.56, and I haven't been to war with it or anything, but it's I trust it. It holds up well. Lifetime warranty, doesn't matter. You don't need a receipt. pass it on. If you ever shoot the barrel out, they warranty that too. Seems to be a decent product. That was part of the selling point for me, is that aspect of it. So wasn't, it was a little more than, a PSA or something, but it wasn't in like as far as crazy. So I'd give them my recommendation, but I'm also a Smith & Wesson guy, or Smith & Wesson guy. So basically, either way.
I don't even have like a brand name AR. Mine has a DPM as lower, PSA upper. I don't know where the hell the bolt carrier group came from. The handguard I bought somewhere, I chopped it off to the length I wanted. That's what I need to do.
That's the way mine are. I've assembled every one that I own.
I think it's a little harder with the AR-10 because the mil spec's a little different from what I understand over there. It gets a little more harder, so you're probably better off staying with like a brand name and having the entire AR from them, and then maybe just change the bolt carrier group if you want. But the Stag Arms has a good reputation, so that's Smith & Wesson. So
yeah, I think maybe quality would be, if you're looking for a little higher end, maybe the Stag Arms would be ideal, but I'd have no problems. I'd even trust one of them Sport 2s or whatever. So, I mean, as long as I get it and it functions right, every manufacturer has a screw up. But, the Smith & Wesson, from my personal experience, was great customer service wise. So, I wouldn't see any problems. And with Stag, I personally haven't had to call them on anything because there just hasn't been any type of issue at all. So you're covered either way. How much do you want to spend?
So Rich White brought out a good point talking about trade schools and like being able to take stuff in high school for your trade school and stuff. And I know here in Oregon, Medford is actually starting to bring that back, and they're going to have classes that will deal with trade school for like construction and stuff like that. So by the time you graduate, you're, a journeyman, like electrician or whatever. So they're ready to start a career right out of high school.
we have that here too. It's called BOCES. A lot of kids they're not doing good in high school, and obviously they won't go to college. Then they enroll them in the BOCES, and basically it's a trade school.
Pretty much, I'm familiar with that BOCES program thing. The trade schools, I think, should get pushed more, even in the normal school level, in a sense. And I think, parents should push that as well. Not stating like if, your kid's got a dream or whatever, still focus on your dream, but trade school is a perfect backup option. Not only, in case things don't work out with option A, but you can save a lot of money by doing shit yourself. Like, depending on the trade, it might not be too common in normal life, but in a lot of cases, just the money you can save can be a benefit, so, and like most things, you can pretty much get a job anywhere. So, plan A don't work out, you can still survive on plan B.
Yep. My kid's got this degree in a film. He's got a hell of a time finding a job. I mean, he had a couple of gigs for production companies here and there, but like he's working tomorrow, but it's just one day. 3 weeks ago, he worked for 3 weeks for the company, and they were pulling like 80-hour weeks. He was doing always like 14 hours a day. But it's until he gets a steady job, it's just gigs like that. Unlike my daughter, if she actually finishes the college and she's going to be a vet, then it'll be a lot easier for her to find a job.
Yeah, and the thing is what's nice is, like I was saying, this will be in high school. So as they get out of high school, they'll be able to go right into construction. And so it's not like they're doing a trade school on the side. It's part of their high school courses. But then there's also apprenticeship programs that there's out there, so that you can learn other trades that aren't part of the schools.
Yeah, it's cool. I think some monetary incentive could be beneficial in some areas as far as in the high school levels, because I know from personal experience some kids that just didn't go to school because they went to work. Yeah, and they juggled it and whatnot, and usually it didn't work out well. So, but people have different types of lives in a sense, and if it comes down to you could still earn some type of income through this program at school and further yourself, or you got to go serve burgers, then it'd be nice if that option was available somehow, some way. I'm not in for like free shit. This is work. You're not just giving people money, but maybe they work with local companies or something along those lines. Something to do with the school. I don't know. Something like that would be cool though.
That's the way it used to be in the former Czechoslovakia when I was growing up. You had basically general high school you can go to for 4 years, or if you didn't feel like going to general high school was just basically get you to college. And after that, basically you had a trade school as well. Usually, depending on the trade school, a lot of them you don't really get a high school diploma, but you get your trade, like a tradesman's list. And that school would be attached to a certain factory or certain services. Like I don't know, like there was no like a private sector. So if you needed mason, you basically there was like a company that provided masons, electricians, and whatnot, and they would have a school. So you would go to school over there, and then I believe the second year they would start you. We would have 1 week of school, and next week you would have a hands-on training, and they would actually pay you for the hands-on training. So, in a theory, by the time you get out of school, you're pretty much semi-trained in that profession. You should, at least you should be. So they had a bunch of those like that. My wife went to one like that. She's a seamstress. She was attached to a factory that were making clothes. But they had the same thing. 1 week school, 1 week work in a factory, and they get paid for it. So it was kind of incentive for the kids, to do that as well, because they earn money while doing that. Sort of like over here when kids go and work in a freaking Acme. So we high school kids were kind of jealous of that, because in a general high school you had no way of making money throughout the year. There was no job opportunities. The only money you can make was over the summer break. You would find a summer job. That was the only way.
So 500 Magnum says, whatever happened to the 9mm Winchester Magnum? It showed potential. I think they just changed the name and became 9mm Major. If I'm not wrong, is that you got a lot more of your IDPA shooters and stuff like that are using 9 Major.
IDPA doesn't have a 9 Major. It's USPS.
Yeah, USPS. The shooting sports are the ones that are really using like 9 Major. I don't really see anyone carrying that as like a carry load.
Well, 9 Major is essentially like a plus P or plus P plus.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it. As soon as you add something funny on the end, like Major or something, it busts out of the cheap realm of things, and I got nothing.
I'm surprised you carry anything more than a 22 with your cheap ass.
That's what. Nah, I know there's a lot of 9 hate out there. I know there's conspiracies. People that drive around in white vans and talk crap about 9mm. But I'm pretty damn sure that's just so they can soak up all the 9mm themselves. Because everybody knows it's king of the world. You may not like it, but according to Google, 9mm is still king of the world.
I personally think 9mm is a great caliber. It's a great self-defense round, an all-round caliber, and there's a reason why U.S. military adopted. I mean, you kind of get with the modern ammo, you get the best of both worlds. You get you get capacity with a really decent performance.
Yeah. In the end, it comes down to placement, but statistically, blood loss is what gets most people. So, there is an argument for size. I will state that, but it can get it done. And if you got to dispatch a pest, you might as well do it the most affordably you can. I don't know. Different forms of looking at things.
And
9mm is great to carry on that 1 week period every month that you have.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
So 500 Magnum also was talking about the 45 gap. I don't know. I've never shot it. So I can't say if I like it or dislike it.
45 Gab was a carry round for the New York State troopers. So basically, short 45, and they got out of it because it was underperforming big time.
Well, 45 gap was, it's Glock auto pistol. It's designed just for the Glock, and so it kind of was a boutique round. So I don't know. The 50 GI, now that's a good round. You can get that. You can use it through a Glock, or you can use it through a 1911. So.
Man, I'm freaking hurting this week. This week sucked for me. Before I got a camera stuck up my ass and my throat, and then I decided to join the gym.
Hopefully, it wasn't the same camera.
So, did you?
I don't know if it was the same camera, but what was most awkward is when I woke up from the fucking anesthesia, the guy still had a fucking camera up my ass and had a conversation with me. That was most fucking awkward conversation I had in my life, because I was watching my own fucking asshole on the goddamn screen, and the guy's having like a conversation, a casual conversation with me. So it was a little fucked up.
When I had mine done, they put me to sleep. Before we, then wheeled me in. I woke up. They had wheeled me back out, and we're saying, "Hey, you're all done. Go ahead."
Now they wheeled me in. Because they're also going through the mouth, so I'm assuming they went through the mouth first if they use the same fucking camera, because I woke up with it in my ass.
Do you have a funny taste in your mouth?
And it was
no.
It was weird because I kind of positioned myself and all that. They put the shit in my mouth with a fucking big ass hole, and whatever they hooked me up to, the guy literally put his hand on my fucking head, and damn, I was out like in a matter of seconds. And then all of a sudden I woke up. I was like, shit, how long I was under? He goes 20 minutes. And then it's telling me, how we went, and look on the screen, that's your ass. And look, we found that there's another polyp that we got to snip. So they found like 3 of them. They snipped them, sent them to the lab. I didn't feel a fucking thing, and then pretty much they reeled me out. Got dressed, the guy came over, talked to me, and I fucking left.
Oh, they gave me a shot, said count backwards from 100. I said 100, and then I woke up and they were done.
Yeah.
So the Scottish American says brings a whole new meaning to bald and curious.
Scottish, fuck you. You hate you motherfucker.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've never paid for some guy to drug me and stick stuff up my ass.
I know, you get that for free.
Haven't been there yet.
Well, you know what? I had some issues. They had to do it. I'm at the age that they would have to do it soon anyway. So I was like, fuck, let's just get it done.
Yeah, no, I'm not telling people not to, or not saying I won't. I'm just thankful I haven't gotten there yet. So I don't know. To each their own and stuff. It's just crazy. If it was any other circumstance, like, buddy, I'm concerned. You're at this age. Why don't you come on over, drink some magic Kool-Aid, and let me stick something up your ass? I think you would think twice. But the medical system just loves screwing people. So I don't know. Yeah.
The worst part is the prep. During it, you're asleep. You don't know what's going on. Well, other than Bald, they woke him up to show him. But having to drink that gallon of stuff, that it's tough to drink that much, and then you're crapping your brains out because you have to clean your system out.
Yeah, they got newer stuff, and you don't have to drink as much.
Of course you do. I just did it. You're full of shit. You gotta
salad, man, and he won't be full of shit. I tell you guys this all.
Dude, I was literally not full of shit for 2 days.
There's 2 different ways they can do them, and it just depends on how they. Mine was the gallon, and I mixed mine with Gatorade to make it a little easier to drink. I knew a dude that he mixed his with alcohol.
No, you're not supposed to do that. Mine basically says the day before, between 4 and 6, you started. There was a bottle of this shit you put in a cup they give you. You fill it up with the water up to 16 ounces. You drink that. It had kind of sweetish taste. It wasn't bad.
Oh,
but right after, you need to drink 2 more glasses of water, and then keep drinking freaking water. And then the next day, 4 hours before the procedure, you do the same thing all over again. And then 3 hours before the procedure, you can't drink anything. You can't even have a sip of water. So that kind of sucked. That was the worst part.
Mine, they gave me a plastic jug and some powder and said, "Here, finish this," and then I had to finish that within a certain time frame.
And I was asking why you can't drink 3 hours before, and that had something to do with the anesthesia, and shit can come up, and you can suffocate and whatever.
Probably so you don't piss all over.
Yeah.
You definitely don't do a lot of pissing because you're really pissing through your ass.
Yep, that's how they flush your system.
Yep.
Oh, man, the Hershey squirts.
Oh, it's worse because it's like it's like just straight water. Like literally, you're pissing out your ass.
Wow. Did they call you back in the morning?
And then right after that, first thing I went, we fucking had lots of food because I was hungry as shit. And then it took a while till stomach kind of settled.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember I walked to the car. They said, "Do you want a wheelchair?" I said, "No, I'm gonna walk." Walked to the car, sat down in the car, woke up in bed.
Shit.
Yeah. I tell you, when you get put under, it's a whole different thing.
I didn't dream anything. I mean, for me, it was like I went under and I got up, and it seemed like instant, like shit. I barely closed my fucking eyes. Like I wish I can have a shit like this every night, so I can go to bed without freaking tossing and turning.
You gotta start eating salad.
I'm telling you,
salad. What am I, a cow or a horse?
I'm telling you that anesthesia, that shit. Like you said, you just go out, and then at some point, you're awake, and you don't even realize how long you've been under. But it doesn't feel like you've been under, any time at all.
Let's change the topic because my ass starts to hurt.
Well, you'll get used to that now that you got New York Outcasts love going on because you bought them a damn present.
Defense that no, they didn't buy me dinner. The nurse called me because I had a procedure done in the morning, like 10 o'clock. A nurse called me at about 3 or 4 o'clock to see how I'm doing, if everything's all right. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like I got raped by the large black man. She was laughing her balls off.
So, Tactical Foods is Did you dream about New York Outcast?
Absolutely no.
Defense Dad says it sounds like an alien abduction story.
Well, there was definitely probing involved.
Oh,
Probably stuck a tracker up there. Did you check?
How the fuck? What am I gonna stick my head up there? What am I gonna check? That's a dumb fucking question.
oh. I think he's asking if he can check for you.
Oh, he wants to check for me, yeah.
Oh no, man, no.
Oh, this has gone down rails.
Yeah, 100%. Let's change the topic.
Yep.
So I got
Both
my
of them
first
live in New York.
I got my first competition of the year tomorrow. Hopefully the weather will be decent because it's raining all day today.
Oh no, it's gonna get worse.
Not supposed to. Why you gotta be so negative, person? G23, huh?
I'm just
Why you
saying.
so fucking negative? You know what? You're a kind of guy that sees a half empty glass of juice. Fucking New York, he sees half full glass of juice, and I see a fucking glass with plenty of room for vodka.
I'm just telling you that we had rain snow mix yesterday, and we had a rain snow mix today, and anything above 1,500 feet, they were calling for up to 10 inches. So,
Bullshit. 57 degrees, nice and sunny tomorrow.
well, it'll take you a few days.
Dude, just layer up because you know how it is. The weather guys are all freaking nuts. They throw darts in there and just, it could be this, it could be that, blah, blah, blah. And they still get paid. It's either way they get your ass. So just wear layers, go there, be a badass, do your thing. It is what it is.
And whatever you do, try to put out of your mind that you were anally violated.
I'm not a fucking king of negative, you cocksucker. Scottish American.
Oh. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of immigration that you were talking before, okay? Sorry to jump into that, but we got to change the topic. Now, you were talking about you do understand that there's a shit ton of illegal people here, right? There's a shit ton of illegal people that want to be legal. I know fucking ton of them. They want to be legal. They've been here for 20 plus fucking years, and they cannot become legal. They pay taxes. They do fucking everything right, and they cannot become legal. Now, get over this. Ever since the war of Ukraine, every fucking Ukrainian that's here, doesn't matter how long it is, he's got his fucking green card now.
Yep. And so I worked with a guy who came over from England, and he was here on a work visa, school visa, and then he ended up staying past his visa because he was trying to renew it and everything. Ended up, it expired. He was still here for like a couple of years before he decided to go back to England and redo it all over there and then come back. But yeah, it can be a long process. So he's now a U.S. citizen. But yeah, it took a lot of time and a lot of money for it to happen.
Yeah, and right now, if you missed the period when you were able to do this, which was basically all started after the Clinton left the office, he did it a bit of an amnesty. Basically, thanks to that, I was able to get my status, and then the fucking World Trade Center went down. Everything went to shit and took forever. But that's a different story. So if you missed that or you couldn't do it back then, nowadays, like I know people that are here 20 plus freaking years, and they pay taxes every year. They freaking law-abiding citizens and all that, and they can't get their freaking green card no matter what. The immigration system definitely broken.
Bob, did you see you were in a competition? A little poll?
What?
Did you see you were added to a poll?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be a bad guy in a kids movie or some shit.
Yeah.
I know.
Just
That's
checking.
what
You in?
I have an ugly mug. You know, me
Yeah.
and D and Faz are the only ones not afraid to show our mugs on the fucking internet. You two are hiding behind the logos.
Last I heard, you were in the lead, but it keeps going back and forth between you and Scotsman lately.
Well, Scotsman definitely had an ugly mug, so and that beer's not helping.
I don't know. The last time I looked, the Scotsman was so far behind it wasn't even funny.
Well, Scotsman
Yeah,
will make a better bad guy than me because he's missing digits too.
Like on my screen, it says it balls up 46%, but Voss said it was 48. So you're talking the Scotsman's only at like 25%. So Bald's running away with it. He's almost ahead by 2 times the amount of votes.
And what do I win?
You buying Rob Dia dinner?
Yeah, Bald's at 50% now.
Oh, so Bald's definitely winning that one.
I can't even lift my freaking arm. Oh my god! And look, he was hating on my pasta, and he's eating bread with it. Bread's even worse for you. Where's your salad?
He tells everyone else to eat a salad. He's too scared to eat a salad.
That's right. I've eaten a salad like I don't know how many times this week so far. Way more than probably all you guys put together. Damn near every night. This is the first recent night I haven't had a salad.
I had salad about
Allegedly.
3 times this week. You'll be surprised.
Like
And hey,
probably
look,
3 or 4, like damn near every night.
look, this
There's
is
always
my
room for a side salad.
snacks. This is what I'm snacking on.
Carrots,
Carrots.
damn
Carrots
rabbit food.
and cherry tomatoes.
Tomatoes are
Hey,
nasty
good.
as hell.
So did you actually join the gym or you just use your free checkout deal or what?
Yeah,
Join-
I use the free deal, and I'm gonna actually join tomorrow and start going next week. Because they have a bunch of other. If you go for the gold thing, then you can use the freaking hot tubs and other crap they have over there. So I think I'm gonna start going a couple of days a week. But I gotta freaking kind of scale down on drinking quite a bit.
So, to answer David Walcott's question, he says, "What about your everything pizza?" So, I haven't even had. I tried a pizza a couple days ago. I had one piece, and the rest of that pizza ended up getting thrown in the garbage. But I haven't really had any pizza since last year.
So that nasty ass pizza made you stop liking pizza?
No, like after I got out of the damn hospital, I just I don't know what happened when I was in the damn hospital. I haven't I can look at a pizza and be like, that just doesn't even look appetizing. And I used to be a person that could eat pizza like 3 times a fucking week.
And salad's looking really good lately, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh my God, they actually did it.
Yeah, they broke me. I'm telling you.
No, I might have gifted something to the hospital.
Well, hopefully it was about $1.5 million to cover my damn hospital bill.
No, but you're experimental now, but it's working. I'm glad to hear.
Yeah,
I'm not a big pizza guy either.
I've been eating a lot more salads and stuff. Like when I go up to the hospital quite a bit. I go in there to their cafeteria and they have those pre-made salads that they make themselves. That has flank steak and blue cheese with a blue cheese dressing. Damn, that thing is delicious. It's got onions. It's got little cherry tomatoes, but I give those to the wife. Because if she was not around, I just throw them in the garbage. Tomatoes are nasty. They're just horrible for you. Yeah, you know. Some people have no taste.
Tomatoes are awesome. I grew up literally. We had a garden. I would go right in the garden, take it right off the plant, and eat it like an apple.
Oh, I used to grow tomatoes, and I would, the wife would eat tomatoes, and then I would take them to work and give them away. I would take like grocery bags full of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, those sweet 1000s, Roma tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes. I grew them all, and I would just throw them in bags, and I would take them to work and give them away.
Sounds like a cover operation for a grow up.
The wife ate tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What were you trying to hide from your neighbors with all those tomato plants, buddy?
Actually, at that time of the life, I was out of the drug scene. I didn't have to worry about that. But people saying that you can hide marijuana plants in with tomatoes, the leaves look different. I'll tell you that's 100% myth. How do I know this? Yeah, I did that.
Nah, man, the smell would give that away. You got people down the street, it's legal now, so they throw up like a whole bunch, man. Let me tell you.
It all
drive
depends
around this block and it's all you smell is weed.
Yeah, well, it all depends on what you're growing. Your cheaper crap smells like dead skunks. But, yeah. Yep. I know. It's legal here in Oregon and in Washington, too, and you start driving down roads, and you can be 10 miles away and be like, oh, yeah, there's a grow. Like the wife says, it's pretty damn disgusting.
I was never much into pot and all that. I think I tried a pot once. And it was a few years after my daughter was born, after my wife quit breastfeeding her. And, somebody brought us some and we tried it. Then we jumped had wild sex that I thought it lasted like 2 hours. And she told me I was done in 2 minutes. So I'm like, I'm staying away from that shit.
So, yeah. The Scottish American is correct. The photos that he used in that, I don't know. Why isn't the Scotsman a damn moderator? There, now you can, Scotsman. You can post a damn link all you want. So, yeah, I love a lot of vegetables. I just hate tomatoes. I hate ketchup.
You all kinds of weird. The only thing I don't really like is a cucumber. For some reason, when I was a little kid, I had something against them, and I kind of I grew up with that, so I can't really eat cucumber. But I got no problem eating a whole jar of pickles.
So who assaulted you with a cucumber? This sounds like something we need to hear.
It had something to do with the taste.
If you put a little, pepper on the cucumber slices, it tastes good. Or if you have the cucumbers in your salad, they're really good. But I'm not one to just sit there. I'm not I see what Bald's saying, because I'm not going to cut up a cucumber and just eat cucumber. I could, but if I'm going to have a cucumbers, it's going to be like in a salad, or it's going to be, in some kind of meal with something else.
I got no problems with cucumbers. Throw a little salt on there, maybe some pepper or whatever. It's fine. We have them in salads regularly.
Oh, it's not like I'm gonna throw up if I eat one, but if I have it in the salad, I'll give it to the wife, and I'll take her onions.
Yeah. If I tried taking the wife's onions, I'd probably get stabbed.
You already did get stabbed. That's how you got that wound.
So the Scottish American says that the battle needs to go to foreign and domestic tomorrow. And, of course, myself and Rob can be on the panel.
What battle are we referring here?
Bald and Curious versus the Scotsman. Who's the uglier villain?
All right. Well, when I put it up, just to clarify, I didn't really mean like who's uglier or something like that. I mean, who would make a better villain character? Yeah. Who could you see doing a better job? The Minions?
You
like
do
the villain in the Minions? That's what
your,
I'm thinking, like a villain.
Most of your villains are the ugly ones. I mean, you look at the Joker. You look at any of your damn... you look at, like, Halloween, you got Mike Myers in a hockey mask. Even the Minions, I don't know, I've just seen the commercials and crap, but you got that long-nosed dude, just like on Bald's, whatever you want to call that.
I don't know. It was basically who makes the better bad guy, comical bad guy, type idea was the idea, which doesn't have to do with, who looks a certain way, I guess, but whatever.
Can Scotsman do this?
Well, I don't know.
No, he can. He's missing a fucking digit.
Oh, that's harsh.
Hey, listen, I know I'm an asshole. I have a t-shirt to prove it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you got pictures to prove it. The Scotsman says, well, shit, I win the ugly factor, hands down. So, and he says literal pictures. So, Foss, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Not really. Tomatoes are good. Cucumbers are good. Salads are good.
What do you mean tomatoes are good? They're nasty. The only thing they're good for is like tomato sauce for either making spaghetti or goulash or making pizzas. Otherwise, there's no reason you need tomatoes.
Nah, you're a dang tomatoist.
Where the hell did you learn how to do goulash if you put a freaking tomato sauce into that shit?
Hey, there is like tomato paste and tomato sauce and crap in goulash.
No, it's not.
Stewed tomatoes.
No, it's not.
Well, in the American versions,
Well, it's
which
not
is
goulash.
all.
You're making a fucking stew, not a goulash.
And yes, salsa. Salsa, you have to have tomatoes.
And Scottish American is 100% right. Tomatoes are fruit. They're not vegetable.
Well, I guess it really depends on which scientist you want to ask. And we know what scientists do.
Ask Dr. Sheldon Cooper.
Ask fucking Dr. Fauci.
Well, he would say as long as you're vaccinated, then it's a fruit. And if you're not, then it's a vegetable.
Well, I'm not, so there you go.
Oh, so fun fact, right? If you watched, I bought the new what's it, EPS or whatever the hell, the new Red Dot, and I put it on my 365. I gotta do a video on it. I put it on my 365 XL Spectracom, and it's quite a bit wider than a 507K I had on it. Plus, it uses a 1620 opposed to 1632 freaking battery. So I don't know why the hell Holson did that. And but it comes with adapter plate, so you can put it on a full size gun that has an RMR footprint. So I put it on my X-Carry Zap. I just couldn't really mount it because I didn't have a short enough screws for the plate. But they actually looked a lot better on a Zap, on a full size gun. I think I'm gonna go that way. But what I was trying to say is I mounted the old optics back on both guns, the Swamp Box on the X-Carry and the 507K on the 365, and I took it out today, and they both held zero, no problem. So that's a little fun fact for you there.
Yeah, what was it? Chris was talking about his ADE that held zero, taking it between different firearms. So, probably more and more with the technology, they're probably holding zero a lot better.
I mean, I like the idea of the enclosed emitter on a carry gun. The window's pretty big, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to figure out how to mount it on my X-Carry, and I'll put it on that, because the 507K, yeah, it collects the stuff, but like I don't really carry the gun constantly every day on me because of what I do and how I do it. It just doesn't make sense. So most of the time I have a full size gun in a truck in glove box, and if I go somewhere, I just pop it in my pants. Hey, Rob, you carry your gun all the time on you while you're climbing the roofs and shit?
Sorry, what's that?
You carry your gun on you all the time, even at work?
Yeah.
I forgot you work in the hood.
On roofs or whatever. Well, people, I haven't had a problem recently, but I've seen problems. I know other people that do, where as soon as you get up on the roof, like people will run up, drop your ladder down, and rob your truck. So, I'll find a way down if I got to jump down and get your ass. But I know people where it's been issues like that before, or they'll just literally steal your ladder too. That's why I always tell people tie your ladder off and shit. Might still be an issue, but at least they don't run right away with it in a sense. But yeah, in people's homes all the time, stuff like that. I mean, the laws have changed recently, so I never break the law, but nobody asks, I don't say nothing, and it's not a problem. So usually cargo pocket in my pants or shorts if it's summertime. Other than that, it's could be appendix carry up on the roof sometimes. So is it overkill? Maybe, but that's the way things go. So you never know.
Yeah, I don't have that problem here. People won't really steal your shit while you're on the roof, especially doing what I'm doing. Like last 4 or 5 weeks, I was remodeling a kitchen. for a friend. So I was pretty much there 90% by myself. You know, the older couple in their 70s. So I actually went there today to collect the last money. The guy was going to give me $1,000 bonus. I was like, no. We had a price. You pay me what we agreed. We good. Kind of stupid though. Refused the bonus, but it's just I felt bad. You know, we had a contract. I gave you a price. You know, nothing. There was no real surprises that I should charge you more. Nothing really came up. So what the fuck?
Yeah, in those situations, I tell them usually, nothing's changed with the agreement or whatever. Wasn't an added cost, or I just threw this in anyway. But I do accept tips. Yeah. So sometimes people just want to give you money. So I got a $300 tip. I'm throwing a hot water heater in because nobody else would do it at that point, at that time. So yeah, I didn't tell him no.
No. He gave me $100 for my son because my son was helping me there a couple of days. So I gave him. Obviously, he got paid anyway, so I gave it to him. But I was like, nah, you don't have to give me $1,000 extra. You know, just spread the word. Maybe give me another little job. Like I love small jobs like this because they fill ups. Like I'm supposed to start a big house for somebody, but I'm still waiting on the damn architect to finish the plans, so I can actually come up with a rock solid number for the guy. And we kind of have a budget that we talked about. I already filed the paperwork with the town, but I can't do shit until I have finalized plans that I was supposed to have yesterday. And then once this freaking house is sold, I got another one I got to build. So in the meantime, you got nothing to do. Small jobs like this are perfect because you know what? I usually do a job like that. I need one guy at the most. So my son came help me. He couldn't really hack it because the dust was killing him. He's not used to that, so I just sent him home. Called a buddy of mine. He came for the day, and the rest of it I just freaking did myself. And then the stuff like countertops and the floors, I hired the subs for that, and the actual driver. I did all the framing, all the demo. And the buddy come to do the electric. I helped out. I did all the plumbing. Wind up putting all the kitchen cabinets, all the trim myself. So he's like, no, these are perfect jobs because you make decent money at least to pay the bills in the meantime. But it doesn't really pay for me to have a gun on me because, I'm in a nice residential neighborhood. Like these people don't even lock their fucking doors. So
yeah. Well, and maybe he wanted to give you the bonus because if you said, hey, it's going to take 2 weeks and you got it done in 8 days, he's like, hey, why not give you a little extra for getting it done quicker, or whatever. Or maybe he just liked your damn work so much that he wanted to make sure that the next time he asked you to come hang out in his master bedroom and fix something, you'd be like, oh hell yeah.
He's a nice guy. We play poker together almost every month.
But what were you gonna say there, Rob?
I was just gonna say you get that sometimes. Sometimes people just want to bless you. I think. Sometimes people think in some weird way they're obligated or something like that. So that's where I, try to put the brakes on things. So, but again, I don't think you should turn it down if they really want to give you something. It's like that. You know what I mean? Obviously, if he wants to take you in the bedroom, that's another story. But hey, so it might have been worth it to them. You know what I mean? Or the other guy would have been 3 weeks out and this or that or some shit, and you were able to be Johnny on the spot for them. So they want to hook you up, let them hook you up, man. I mean, shit, you could have drove up here and we could have hung out with that extra cash. You know what I'm saying?
You don't do that. You don't fuck the customer or his wife, or not until you get paid. I had a job for I'm not gonna say what, but it was like rich guy, big house remodeling, and we wind up setting all the frames without the actual door slabs because turns out that they ordered the wrong doors. So I didn't want to hold up the project, so they basically moved into the house. They had no doors, and in the meantime, they went on vacation or something. So the doors showed up. They came back. Doors showed up. I'm putting all the doors in, and since all the frames are already hung. It's not that simple. Just popping the hinges in. You gotta you gotta play with the doors a little bit. So and I'm putting on like a master bedroom door, and she came in from a gym or run or whatever, and she goes straight for the freaking master bathroom, and I hear the shower going. I just closed the fucking door and went work in a different goddamn bedroom. Didn't cross my mind. I mean, nah, this fucker still owes me money. I'm not going down that route.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that stuff. I've seen people's wives naked several times. It's not something you bring up or whatever, but yeah, if you're in that type of service and single, you could, you can get some action there. So I've taken my lady to certain jobs just to avoid problems. Like, no joke. This one lady, she must have been like 400 pounds. I don't know, big lady. She always used to have a problem, and it was always like in the evening. And then I'd go over, and she'd be answering the door in straight up lingerie, like straight up. Want to be chilling, trying to small. I swear she was breaking shit on purpose. So, but in those situations, really nowadays, me like not being interested, all she got to do is make an accusation. So fuck all my stuff up. So it's just way better if I bring a witness. You know what I mean? In certain situations like that. So I would warn contractors to be cautious of that shit. So I've also dealt with a crazy chick that just wanted to undress right in front of me. And she was like 15 or some shit, like something crazy. And thank God, I had a witness there and all this stuff. And it wasn't never an issue on my part, but they did try to stiff me in the end for payment. So, we ended up going to court. I won. I actually was granted extra for all the bullshit. Didn't even ask, but they granted me the extra anyway. That's the key. If you get crazy, they're like, nah, you're just a greedy bastard. But anyway, so, a lot of strange shit happens with people. Like, you think you know somebody until you go in their house. Let me tell you, people are strange.
Never went to court. I leaned the houses a couple of times, and at the end, it wasn't worth it. And I'm talking for bigger amounts. Last guy that stiffed me was 15 grand, and it wasn't even worth going to court because it was like hit or miss, and then you if you lose on top of the 18 grand, you out freaking court fees and lawyer fees and all that.
Paperwork. I've been in court twice, I think, 2 or 3 times, and every time was somebody initially I would have never thought. One person I went to school with would have never thought. Think she was looking for more of a date, but whatever. Thanks to her post on Facebook and all this other stuff, I won. I always win because I do good paperwork. I don't give a shit who you are. Paperwork, you shouldn't be threatened by paperwork. You know what I mean? As far as, working with a service. And, I've always won, if not got awarded more. The one lady tried to run me over in the parking lot. I didn't press charges or nothing. Like right there would have all been on camera and everything. But I got what I came for. To me, it's principle. I do my job. I expect to get paid. If I screwed up or something like that, that's understandable. But when I cover my end and it's so good, you're bragging to everybody about it, and then all of a sudden you don't want to pay me. Oh, hell no. I'm taking your ass to court.
Yeah, problem is on the bigger jobs, whole house remodels, it's just, it gets a little complicated. Yeah, you got a contract, you did all that. Everything was inspected, everything is done, and then it's just like the last one was, I leaned the house, I knew right away if last month something was off because it was all of a sudden like, this is wrong. The whole time they cooking me breakfast and whatnot, and so something was off, and sure enough, never got a last payment. I leaned the house. I got a letter from their lawyer with a list of bullshit things that were wrong. That every single one of them passed inspection with flying colors. And it's just you go talk to a lawyer, and it's like, you want to go to court? Let's go to court. No guarantees. So you kind of build that shit into the price and keep going.
Yeah, to each their own and how you do paperwork. I recommend you do the hell out of paperwork, and then if you ever got a problem, literally it's like it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's right there on paper in most cases what things are. So, and then if anything changes, I always get initial sign-offs on approval. If we're gonna, even if it goes from plywood to OSB, you said plywood, they're out of plywood. Now you want to switch to OSB. The cost savings is your favor. You're still signing off on that because you're not going to come back on me later. But anyway, like I said, most of the people I work for, they're all repetitive customers, but there's always a few nuts out there. Good paperwork always covers your ass.
Oh. Nah, the best bet is build fucking houses and just sell them. You don't like it? Fucking move on. Problem is when everything goes to shit, then you're stuck with a fucking house.
Well, we get married. I'll address the paperwork stuff. The bro marriage, not any kind of sexual marriage. I can take you under my wing and show you how to handle this paperwork stuff.
I think I'm doing pretty good.
Not if you're not getting final payments.
Yeah, it's happened maybe twice in the fucking 20 years, 3 times. So, and usually it was
At the very least, they should be walking with a limp, Bald.
Yeah, that's even worse that you can do. And then, like, I had a couple of jobs in Connecticut, and that's over there. It's even harder. Once you go in the Greenwich area, I know that it's even harder because Connecticut's got different laws, and it's just at some point, you know what, you're doing $400,000 job, so you don't get 20 grand. It's peanuts, for the job. So it's like whatever.
20 grand. 20 grand. Shit, I chased the son of a bitch down for her paycheck. What are you talking about? 20 grand.
20 grand.
Shit, don't owe me 20 grand.
Below the knee.
Yeah. Shit.
You gotta do your pros and cons, at that point. Because once they make up their mind, they don't want to pay you. Then you gotta. This is not just a small claims court. So now in Connecticut, to lien the house, it costs a lot more. It's not a $300 lien like it's over here. Lien doesn't really mean shit because they can sit on a lien for a year, and if you don't pursue it even more, which costs you more money, then it just gets discharged.
Yeah, after the lien, you'd have to garnish wages, and then you'd be hitting taxes and all this stuff. But you'd be getting something.
Yeah, Connecticut was even more. So I went to talk to a lawyer, and basically it was the same thing. I had to shell out X amount of dollars, a couple $1,000 just to get the ball rolling. And you get the same answer. It's like a 50-50 shot. If you do get it or you don't get it. So you go, and it's all time and all that. So you know what? If that guy in the meantime, before he stiffed you, he referred you and you picked up another $400,000 job, then that's considered a finder's fee, and just move on, make money on the next job. What pisses me off the most is like you do a job, you all paid, everything is good, guy's happy, right? And then you stop by there, or he calls you 6 months later because he wants to do a flip, he wants to buy another house, he wants to flip, and we're talking multi-million-dollar houses, and you go, you spend freaking weeks going from house to house looking at the jobs with him, right? You finally find a house, agree, get the architect, get the plans, you work up the number, you shake hands, we all good. Week goes by, you email him if there's any other changes because you're going to send the contracts out, and he calls you 20 minutes later saying, oh, you know what, I gave it to somebody else. I'm like, are you serious? And then on top of it, he's got balls 6 months later, call you up or text you, oh, by the way, where did you get all the crumb molding from my house? Why don't you go fuck yourself?
Yeah.
Or he had the balls to call my electrician and ask him and basically leave a message on his machine. Can you call my electrician and explain to him how did you do wireless switches in my house? I mean, you got some fucking balls to do that shit. So that pisses me off even more.
I had a landlord like that would ask me for estimates on how about fixing something, and then basically I figured out he would have people that owed him rent try to do it. Basically, a couple of jobs I ended up fixing in the end, but basically I ended up just charging him. Like, it was more of a consultation in the end, but he was fine with that because he knew I caught on what was going on after like the second or third estimate or some shit. I don't know. But he paid me well for all that. So I just run around town and tell him what he's got to have done where and shit. And worked out pretty good. Except, He always wanted to meet at like Core. I don't know if you ever been to that place. Jesus, it was horrible. Everything in there is like, yeah. I recommend salads, but not that damn place. Let me tell you, like you can't even get regular Italian dressing. Everything's fancy and shit, and it all tastes like crap. But besides that type of stuff, it was a great gig when you're getting paid for it, but not when you're, shit like that, and then they want you to help them out afterward or fix something and all that. Yeah, it happens. They try.
Or people call you for a big renovation, $300,000-$400,000 job, and now they want you to itemize everything because I got a buddy, he's a plumber, maybe he can do this cheaper, maybe he can. She's got an electrician that he can do that. I'm like, no, I give you a price for the entire project. I'm either doing the entire project. If you want me to exclude certain things, I will, but I'm not giving you an itemized list of how much everything costs in the project because it doesn't work like that. Because your electrician might not include what my electrician does. It's not apples to apples. So people ask me to do that shit. I'm like, listen, if you want to sit down and figure out where to save the money, like I just had a couple here yesterday looking at the house. I went, I picked up the plans. I talked to them. They basically want to knock the house down, and they're about 35 minutes south of me. And they want to knock the house down, and it's in a neighborhood where it's all starter houses, all $200,000-$300,000 houses. They want to knock the house down and put up this 3,000 square foot house, and basically my price was close to $500,000 to do what they want to do. Plus, he wants to do some work on his own, and long story short, there'll be about over $600,000 into it, and they'll be on a small piece of land without the basement, just a crawl space, 1-car garage, only 3-bedroom. I'm like, why don't you come check out the new house that I have? I have another property. I mean, you're probably better off selling the house, moving up here, and you're gonna spend less money and have a brand new house with a 4-bedroom, full basement, 2-car garage on 2 acres. Instead of trying to get a variance because now your house is too close to neighbors, So they actually came here Friday. They love the house, they love the area. They're kind of debating what to do. He's kind of worried because more travel time. I'm like, all right, so you're gonna be spending 35 minutes each way more in a car. Big deal, but think about how much more you get in return. And she works from home, so she didn't really care about the commute.
Look, man, you can't guilt people or browbeat them into buying shit.
It wasn't just that. I wanted them to see the work. I wanted them to see the work that we do, how we do stuff, so they can see the quality work. We can see, how we do it. And I was like, look, whether you decide to go and knock it down and do it, or you want to buy this, or you want to find a piece of land closer over there and do it, I just wanted to give you all the options. That's it. I mean, it's a lot easier to show them the fucking work you do than just keep talking about it.
So, I do have a pinned comment out in the side chat where I'm going to be on Brooke Cheney's channel here in about 30 minutes. It's a pre-recorded, but I'm going to be over there in the side chat answering any questions and everything. So, we'll call her early so I can have some time to eat something before I have to go live over there. So, Mr. Bald and Curious, thanks for coming on. You have anything you want to plug before we get the hell up out of here?
Yeah, be safe, keep shooting, have fun, and don't eat too much salad.
Absolutely. Salads are on a minimal. Mr. New York Outcast.
Eat a salad, unless you like strange men giving you magical drinks and waking up with a camera in your ass. Besides that, have a great evening.
Thanks for showing up. Mr. DM Foss, I know you have a show coming up this evening. You want to talk a little bit about that before we get out of here?
Yeah, the overnight tonight, 11 p.m. Pacific, and whatever time if you're not in Pacific. We're going to go over some of the testimonies at the hearing for some of the anti-gun bills in Washington. and I don't know, maybe some other stuff.
Well, thank you again for coming on and being the co-host for the last 3 damn years. So, everyone, enjoy, be safe. I'm going to play the outro, and we're going to get the hell up out of here.